Enjoy your stay on our channel again. There is a musician named Rod Stewart whose name will always be linked to music. Rod is not only an artist, but also a living hero. His raspy voice and captivating songwriting skills make him stand out. Business Insider named him one of the top 50 best-selling acts of all time. His hits include I Don't Want to Talk About It, Tonight's the Night, and Maggie May. But can the shine of fame really hide the bad things that happen in his life? More than 3.5 million people came to Rod's free concert in Brazil in 1994, which is a number that not many people can beat. There are, however, unmet dreams, rocky relationships, and deep-seated pains that not everyone is aware of behind that huge number. A young man's dream was to play football, but he became a music star instead. But a lot of personal sacrifices had to be made in order to get that much fame. Rod Stewart's life is full of things that don't make sense. Between the fame on stage and his private fights with illness, between the love of people all over the world and the struggles that no one sees, what turned Rod from a boy in football cleats into a shining star, and what really happens behind the scenes of fame? Let's find out everything in this movie. Childhood? Roderick David Stewart was born in North London on January 10, 1945. He was the youngest of Robert Joseph Stewart's 5 children. His father was a Scottish master builder from Edinburgh, and his mother was an English woman from Upper Holloway. In the years before World War II, Rod grew up in a simple house on Archway Road, which was above his father's newsstand. Rod remembers his youth as very happy because he was the youngest and most loved child in a family that wasn't rich or poor. Rod didn't do anything particularly impressive in school. He went to Highgate Primary School and then William Grimshaw Secondary School, but he didn't make a mark on anyone. But while his school reports didn't show any signs of greatness, the things he liked to do outside of school did. Stewart's main hobby as a child was model trains. But football was his real love and formed him as a child. He was an avid Arsenal Football Club fan and the best player in his family, doing especially well as a centre-back for the Middlesex schoolboys team. However, music was also an important part of his life. Rod's family loved Al Jolson a lot and would often sing and play his songs at home. A love that had a big impact on Rod's future music style. Rod fell in love with rock and roll after seeing live shows by Little Richard and Bill Haley and his Comets. Rod got his first guitar when he was 15 years old and quickly joined a skiffle group called the Cool Cats to improve his singing skills. Even so, Rod first tried to become a football player by going to trials with Brentford FC in the summer of 1960. But when the club didn't make him an offer, it made him make a very important choice in his life. When asked why he decided to be a musician instead of a professional athlete, Rod laughed and said that he did so because he liked the idea of living a life where he could drink and make music. Early in your work. Rod Stewart had a lot of different jobs in his early years. And his search for music. He first delivered newspapers and worked at his family's shop. Then he did odd jobs like working as a worker at Highgate Cemetery and a funeral home in North Finchley. In 1961, he went to Denmark Street to try out for record producer Joe Meek, but the interview didn't go well. This was the start of his real musical journey. Stewart became deeply interested in folk music and read a lot of Ewan MacColl, Woody Guthrie, and Bob Dylan. He also adopted the beatnik way of life and for a while lived on a houseboat in Shoreham by the sea. He also took an active role in the movement to get rid of nuclear weapons by joining marches and protests. During this time, Stewart's emotional life was also very rough. He broke up with art student Susanna Buffy when she got pregnant, and they later gave the child up for adoption. Around this time, Stewart started performing on the streets with folk singer Wiz Jones. They went to Paris and Barcelona before being kicked out of Spain for being homeless in 1963. By the middle of the 1960s, Stewart had accepted the mod way of life, complete with the spiky hairstyle that would become his trademark. As he lost interest in rock and roll, Otis Redding's shows gave him ideas, and he started to listen to rhythm and blues and soul music. Stewart got his first professional music job when he joined the rhythm and blues band The Dimensions in October 1963 as a harp player and part-time singer. Even though he didn't stay with the group long because of problems within it, it exposed him to London's lively R&B scene and made him get better at playing the harmonica. Stewart did not play on Millie Small's hit song, My Boy Lollipop, despite what many people think. It's possible that Patrick Hogman of The Dimensions played the harmonica on that song. These early events gave Stewart a wide range of interesting and difficult skills that helped him become successful in the music business. In January 1964, Stewart's musical journey took a turning point when Long John Baldry saw him playing harmonica at Twickenham Station. Stewart joined Baldry's band after this meeting, where he made £35 a week and began his professional music career. He was known as Rod the Mod because of his unique style and growing musical ability, which got him noticed in London's music scene. He played at places like the Marquee Club and made his uncredited recording debut on the song Up Above My Head. Stewart quickly set his sights on a solo career, which led to a deal with Decca Records in August 1964. He turned down the popular songs that the label suggested and insisted on recording songs by Sonny Boy Williamson instead, which showed how committed he was to being real. His first song, Good Morning Little Schoolgirl, did not do well on the charts, though. After a short fight with Baldry, Stewart went on to work as a single artist and later helped start the soul band Steam Packet. In 1965 with Baldry and some other people. The band played for big names like the Rolling Stones, but they couldn't record because of problems with their contract. By 1966, Stewart had left Steam Packet and joined Shotgun Express. But he didn't like playing songs that weren't his own, so he turned his attention to writing his own songs. Despite facing many obstacles and having a hard time finding his own voice, these formative experiences helped Stewart create his signature style of music and set him on the path to his future great success. Success with a solo business. Rod Stewart's career took a big turn when he joined the Jeff Beck Group in February 1967. Stewart and Ronnie would set out on a difficult trip together, having to deal with constant lineup changes and problems with management. In spite of these problems, Rod found a great chance to develop his unique voice and style, which can be heard on the CDs Truth and Beck-Ola. But the group's problems couldn't be solved, and in 1969, Stewart took the risky choice to leave, which turned out to be the start of a new chapter in his career. The next year, he signed with Mercury Records and started making a name for himself as a single artist. Not a big hit at the box office, his first record, An Old Raincoat Won't Ever Let You Down, but it set the stage for his unique mix of rock, folk, and blues. Soon after, joined Faces, where his skills really grew, especially on records like Every Picture Tells a Story and Never a Dull Moment. The huge success of Maggie May, on the other hand, caused problems within the band because Stewart's fame started to overshadow the other members. By 1975, the group had broken up, and Stewart was fully committed to his journey by himself. Stewart changed both where he lived and the direction of his songs when he moved to Los Angeles that same year. Tom Dowd and the Muscle Shoals Rhythm Group were on the album Atlantic Crossing, which was a big change in his sound. Stewart became known not only as a rock star but also as an artist with a big impact on people all over the world with the song Sailing. Rod never stopped looking for new lands, though. In 1978, he shocked the music world with the dance song I Think I'm Sexy. People said he was selling out, but the song went to the top of the charts around the world, showing how creative he is. Rod Stewart tried out a lot of different styles in the 1980s, from the raw energy of new wave to the refined sound of synth pop. Even when he was in trouble, like when he performed in South Africa during apartheid, albums like Foolish Behavior and Tonight I'm Yours helped him stay a star. Even though people didn't like Stewart, she kept being clever. A beautiful version of People Get Ready was made during a short reunion with Jeff Beck, showing that his music continued to move people. Stewart came back with a bang in 1988 with the album Out of Order. A masterpiece that mixes old and new sounds. Not only did the song Forever Young do well at the charts, but its emotional message also hit home with listeners. His tour of South America in 1989 took him to new heights. Over 90,000 people came to see him at River Plate Stadium in Buenos Aires, showing how popular he still is. Rod Stewart came into the 1990s with a heart that likes to travel. An album full of feeling and fresh ideas. The hit songs It Takes Two with Tina Turner and Rhythm of My Heart put him back at the top of the charts around the world. He set a record with a free show at Copacabana Beach that drew over 3.5 million people, which made him a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. A huge number that not many people could beat. Rod Stewart has shown that a real artist doesn't rest on their laurels, they are always adding new things to their music. His story continues to inspire people all over the world. Growth and new ideas will continue. Rod Stewart has been at the top of the music business for decades, but he still shows that ability and passion never run out. Not only is he a music legend, but he is also an artist who is always changing and challenging himself to keep new audiences interested. Rod started a new part of his work in the early 2000s by exploring the Great American Songbook and giving new meanings to old American standards. Albums like It Had to Be You not only paid respect to classic music, but they also proved that his unique raspy voice could give old songs new life, making them interesting for both new and old fans. Rod's journey as an artist didn't end there. His 2009 album Soul Book, which included new versions of old soul and Motown songs, showed how much he loved a lot of different types of music. This was more than just an artsy project. It was a sentence. Rod Stewart brings people of all ages and musical styles together through his music. Whether he went back to rock and roll with still the same great rock classics of today or got into the holiday mood with his 2012 album Merry Christmas Baby, he showed that changing things doesn't change who he is. Instead, it shows how flexible and strong an artist is who is always looking for more. But Rod's job isn't just about selling albums and being high on the charts. His 2013 record Time was an emotional return to writing songs about his own life. Rod wrote his book, which made him want to tell his story in more than one way. He even used music. The album went straight to #1 in the UK, breaking the record for the longest time between #1 albums, which shows how popular he still is. This success wasn't just about making money, it was also a big deal for an artist who had learned to think about his life and use that in his songs. In the past few years, Rod has shown again and again that he is both a keeper of his heritage and a tireless innovator. Not only have albums like Blood Red Roses and the album You're in My Heart with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra reimagined his old hits, but they've also given them more meaning by combining classical and modern sounds. Rod's skill to change his music is clear in these projects, keeping it alive and important for all generations. Rod's ideas aren't just about music. In 2022, he turned down a rich offer to perform in Qatar because he was worried about human rights. This bold move cemented his reputation as an artist and a person with strong morals who was not afraid to stand up for what he believes in. This deed made it clear that he was a person and a musician of great integrity. Rod's hard work has not only helped him survive a career lasting more than 50 years, but it also shows that his love for music is stronger than ever. Rod Stewart is more than just an artist. His work is worth about $100 million, and his fans will always love him. He is an important part of culture and has always and will always encourage people. Personal life: Rod Stewart is often seen as the most beautiful person on stage, but his personal life is full of color, romance, and difficult times. He has also battled major health problems that have made him a symbol of strength. Rod has been married 3 times and has been in many other relationships. He has 8 children with 5 different women. Like his singing career, his love life has been both beautiful and full of problems. Rod got married to Alana Hamilton for the first time in 1979. They were married for 5 years and had 2 children, Kimberly and Sean. But they couldn't get along anymore, and Rod's busy routine made it so that they got a divorce in 1984. After that, he married beauty Rachel Hunter in 1990, but they split up after 16 years. They had 2 kids together, Renee and Liam. Rod said that the breakup was a big surprise and made him realize how bad he was at taking care of family ties. Rod was stable and happy with his 3rd wife, Penny Lancaster, in 2007. He has had a happy and stable marriage to Penny, and they have 2 boys together, Alistair and Aiden. Rod says he's a hopeless romantic, and he loves having dinner with Penny by candlelight after the kids are asleep. This is how he says he keeps the spark alive and what he calls true love. There have been some hard times with family life, though. Sean, Rod's son, has had legal problems, including being arrested several times and getting into a big fuss at Miami International Airport for acting out. Even though there are problems, Sean says that his relationship with his father is still strong. He and Rod stay in touch often and spend time together when Rod comes back from trips. Rod Stewart has had a lot of health problems in addition to problems with his family. When the news came out in May 2000 that the British rock star had been diagnosed with thyroid cancer, it shocked everyone. People in the music business were shocked by the news, and his millions of loyal fans were crushed. Stewart was quickly diagnosed with a serious illness that put his life and his famous singing career in danger. He was famous for his raspy voice and high-energy performances. Rod acted quickly after being told he had cancer. That same month, he had surgery to remove the cancerous thyroid. It had become a big problem with the thyroid, which is an important gland that controls metabolism by making hormones. But the risks went even further. Because the surgery might hurt his voice cords, which were already hurt by a harmless lump before. It was hard to decide. He had to have surgery to stay alive, but it hurt his voice, which is important to his music business. There was a lot of stress and doubt after the surgery. Stewart had to learn how to sing all over again, which was a huge task that was hard on both his mind and body. A lot of hard vocal treatment and rehabilitation helped him get his voice back to being strong and clear. This phase wasn't just about getting better physically, it was also about reinventing myself as an artist and becoming stronger. Rod became involved in charitable work after beating cancer. He especially helps fund pediatric cancer research through the City of Hope group. The tests didn't end there, though. That was almost 20 years ago. In 2019, he fought cancer again, this time prostate cancer. He kept this 3-year fight a secret until he announced his victory in public, showing once again how strong and determined he is. Besides his fight with cancer, Rod has also had injuries from football that required surgery on his ankle and knee. These struggles made him stronger, but they also made him realize how important family is. Rod's family is very important to him, and the birth of his third grandchild recently made that clear. He has been gently told to slow down by his children, who are worried about his health as he gets ready for a 40-show world tour. Rod Stewart's life, from his relationships and family problems to his tough health battles, is a testament to strength, love, and unwavering drive. His legacy will always be bright in the minds of his family and millions of fans around the world, even though the spotlight may be off of him. Right now and in the future. Rod Stewart is 79 years old, but his life is still full of changes and challenges. He is also dealing with the effects of getting older and being sick. He has been dedicated to music for more than 50 years and is still eager to try new things in his work while also trying to balance his love of art with his family life. Is putting out a record with Jules Holland called Swing Fever in early 2024. He's moving away from rock and roll for this project and into swing and jazz, which is a big change. This shows how versatile Rod is as a musician and also shows that he is always trying to improve himself, no matter the time or the latest musical styles. In addition to his musical projects, Rod is still playing around the world. Several Asian countries, such as Kuala Lumpur, Bangkok, Tokyo, and Singapore, have booked him to appear in March 2024. But some have been pushed back or cancelled because of health problems, like his COVID-19 and vocal cord irritation bouts. Still, is motivated to keep the promises he made to his fans, which shows how much he loves being on stage. Rod Stewart's family has become even more important to him in the last few years. He has spent more time with his wife Penny Lancaster and their children since they had their third child. Penny has been a constant source of help, helping Rod find a good mix between work and health. His kids have also told him they want him to take time off from his busy schedule so he can focus on his health and family time more. Rod Stewart is not only a music legend, but also a live example of how to be strong, keep going, and never give up. Over the course of his more than 50-year career, he has touched the hearts of millions of people with classic songs like Maggie May and Sailing, as well as with highly personal albums like Time. Rod is very musically versatile. He can easily switch between rock, soul, dance, and the Great American Songbook. This has helped him connect fans of all generations and create a style that is all his own. However, Rod's legacy is not just his songs. His personal problems, like his fight with cancer and having to deal with family pressures and public criticism, have shown how strong he is. Not only has he worked through these problems, but he has also used them to fuel his art and his life. This man is not only a great artist, but also someone with a big heart, as shown by his work with charities and his support for human rights. Rod Stewart is getting ready to stop performing rock and roll music and try new musical projects. He leaves behind a rich artistic legacy as well as a powerful lesson in being strong and loving life with all your heart. His journey shows that even though life has its ups and downs, the best way to get through anything is with desire and never-ending hard work. Rod Stewart will always be a star, not just on stage but also in the hearts of millions of fans around the world. He lived fully, loved deeply, and worked hard at making art. His legacy will continue to inspire artists and viewers for years to come. What do you think of Rod Stewart's moving story? In your opinion, which of his songs means the most to you? Feel free to say what you think in the space below, and don't forget to like and follow to read more stories about famous musicians with us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.